The third base is pretty much max capacity. The natural expansion is still max saturated, and he even still has plenty of minerals in his main. So TQ looking pretty good on the economic department. Actually, is finished the Overlord. What's the research where they can carry stuff? I forget what it's called. It's like Overlord drop ability. How about that? So he's gonna load up a bunch of roaches and maybe some hydras in there too into these Overlords for a drop. And now, in my experience, I have never really had much success with Overlord drops, and I don't think Flipaments realizes this is going to be coming, but I haven't had much success with it. I think the best way to try and do this Overlord drop is to do some kind of two-pronged attack. Like if TQ, yeah, this is what he's doing. He's bringing this army down here, and if he wants to try and hit this expansion, even though all these cannons are going up, that won't do much against that army he's got coming. If he attacks, if he drops in here, which he is, the drop is now commenced in the main, could possibly snipe down the Templar Archives, which is quickly going to go down, and the Colossi are going to be coming in here and doing quite a bit of damage to these roaches. The Corruptors, though, quite a bit of Corruptors on the field. Nicely done by TQ there. He's going to be forcing these Colossi back with all these Corruptors. And the other cool thing about Corruptors is they absorb all these shots from the Stalkers. They have so much armor that they keep your ground army alive longer from the Stalkers. You want the Stalkers to shoot the Corruptors because they're, to a certain point, when you have a ground army down there, you do want them to do that. Meanwhile, these roaches and hydras will be taking out this base down here, and now Flipaments is forced to scramble back and forth, so executed very well right there by tQorGETSLAMT, doing the drop into the main and at the same time attacking the natural, not natural, but the expansions. These cannons are quickly going to fall down too. Fall down. Apparently that's my new thing, is fall down. And TQ is going to be able to re-macro up his army really fast, like any pro Zerg level player, or pro... What is wrong with me? I can't say my words in the right order today. Any pro Zerg player can do. He has macroed up a crap ton of roaches already after losing everything that he just sent out. So the power of Zerg being shown. These Corruptors trying to snipe this Colossus, though, taking quite a bit of damage from those Stalkers, and now he ended up losing all the Corruptors, and he didn't even kill the Colossi. If he had stayed with it, he could have killed the Colossi. Oh, these roaches could get a free shot on it down there. I'm totally paying attention to the Colossi in the back. The roaches do have a nice concave, but storms are going down all over the roaches, softening them up quite a bit. And Stalkers they do quite a bit of damage against the roaches, but there are so many for TQ, and a burrow right now would be so big for these roaches. He could regenerate so much life right now, but instead he is going to continue pressing here. Needs to take out this proxy pylon, trying to kill these Stalkers, but the roaches are too low on life to press. He needs to fall back. Roaches will be falling back. Blink will be used to kill one additional roach. And now Flipaments will fall back. So this game pretty even right now, going back and forth. Another drop, it looks like, is happening as TQ is loading up more units for another drop. And where is this drop going to go? Is it going to go into the main? Or where is he going to go with that? As Flipaments now is trying to get this fourth, which has become his fourth base over here. Fourth base. He's trying to get his fourth base up over here. No, he's trying to get his fourth base going. And wow, I am totally off my game, as I can apparently am now talking with a lisp and not pronouncing S's as they should be. So if you are still watching this for whatever reason, thank you for bearing with me, as my English apparently is deteriorated. As now TQ will be doing another drop right into the main and unpowering a couple of warp gates here. These Colossi getting a little bit ahead of themselves. These roaches could easily pick off this one if they moved and scooted and shot. And oh man. Okay, yeah, this drop is going to get cleaned up though, and these overloads probably think about, okay, it's time to run away. And that is the thing about these drops. What I was trying to say before is this drop, not that effective. He killed a couple of warp gates, and he unpowered one warp gate and spewed out a bunch of creep, which didn't really do anything. But he really didn't kill any of Flipaments' army in that engagement, and excuse me for that yawn right there. That was just uncalled for. I am so just messed up lately, you guys. I am so sorry, but But yeah, the first time when he did that drop, he did a simultaneous attack down here and just crushed the expansion. Now what he could have done there is the same thing I was expecting. During that drop, once this whole army gets brought back up here by the Protoss, he could have sent an army simultaneously down to this area, or perhaps even split up his drops. There's only 2 stalkers here. Those aren't going to be able to kill any overlords before they start dropping stuff if he wanted to try and drop there. So, but TQ is already back pretty much to max. He's got quite a bit of gas banked and more upgrades coming out. 5 Ultralisks are on the way, and those are going to be very, very powerful against an army full of stalkers and colossi and sentries and Templar, as Psystorms don't do a whole lot to Ultralisks there, and these colossi, that while they do quite a bit of damage to the Ultralisks, the splash damage is mitigated slightly because of how big the Ultralisks are, and then on top of that they have so much hit points that it doesn't add up to as much, and the Ultralisks do have splash damage themselves if they can get in good position against these stalkers. The stalkers with blink will be effective though against that, so it's going to come down to some micro here in this next engagement. And uh-oh, I hear a Nidus Worm. Where's the Nidus Worm? Okay, there's going to be a Nidus Worm. It looks like, if you see down on the minimap, it is coming out in the net, or in the far bottom expansion. Meanwhile, a massive engagement right here. The Ultralisks, some of these Ultralisks are getting stuck behind the Hydralisks, so that's really bad positioning right there for tQorGETSLAMT. Will he be able to win this battle? Look at all the storms, so many storms going down. It looks like all of this is going to get killed by Flipaments. So, wow, Flipaments, nicely done right there. And TQ, he ended up, his Ultralisk got stuck behind a wall of Hydralisks, and oh, that was not where he wanted to be. He was trying to get a Nidus Worm in here at the same time, and these 2 stalkers were able to deal with that for Flipaments. So TQ is now in a lot of trouble. Uh-oh. As what is he going to be able to do? He's got 10 Ultralisks on the way, as well as Carapace level 3, melee attacks level 2. And at the same time, Flipaments just finishing off his armor level 3 for and why is he pulling back right now? Uh-oh. I'm not sure. He could have done quite a bit of damage there if he had tried to press the issue. Maybe he just knew that there was a million Ultralisks coming out and decided to pull back, because those Ultralisks are going to be so powerful here. And this is where the economy of the Zerg really starts to pay dividends in the late game. He lost his entire army and is instantaneously able to pump out a massive amount of Ultralisks. He could use some more upgrades on those, which are just about to finish. Is TQ going to attack as soon as this level 2 attack upgrade does finish for these Ultralisks? Where are these Corruptors? He's making a ton of Corruptors to try and deal with the Colossi. And these High Templar are not going to be that effective against all those Ultralisks. You may see some of them turning into Archons here, but actually, what is he's trying to get another Nidus network out into the main base. So could we start seeing a base race? What is Flipaments doing? He's going back and forth. The Ultralisks are going to try and chase this army down. Uh-oh. And the positioning actually fairly good for the Protoss right here, but there are so many Ultralisks. Storms going down all over the Ultralisks, trying to soften them up as much as he possibly can. Are we going to see some Archon Warps? They would be pretty effective against the Ultralisks right now, but oh my god, look at all the Ultralisks with 5-2 upgrades right now. The High Templars are running for their life. The Ultralisks are just totally ate all those Colossi for breakfast. And really, the Corruptors did too. And here we go, the Ultralisk Death March from TQ. What is Flipaments going to be able to do about this? He's got a ton of Zealots, and Zealots do take quite a bit of damage from Ultralisks, but not much choice right now. Trying to get as much army out as fast as he possibly can. He did warp in 3 Archons, which are pretty strong against these, and by pretty strong, I mean really strong against Ultralisks. Archons are. And he actually is going to save this Nexus somehow. Wow, I thought that he was pretty much done there all of a sudden, and look at Flipaments proving me wrong. Actually even saving the high yield Nexus. So here comes the counterattack, I'm assuming, as all the Ultralisks have gone down. 12 Broodlords are morphing in right now for TQ, so he is all over the place. I love the tech switching everywhere. These Broodlords are going to be devastating for Flipaments, and oh man, this is getting pretty crazy. This game is, as I love the reactions from both players back and forth to the various tech structures and the different unit types going on, as even adrenal glands will be researched, or is being researched by TQ, and once that finishes, the Zerglings will be a little bit more powerful. Pretty underrated upgrade if you ask me, as TQ's he's gonna lose the high yield. Does he want to engage this or not? It looks like he wanted to engage this, but he wants the Broodlords to get some good positioning, and he needs support for these Broodlords though. All his ground army is gonna run in here. The Zerglings are gonna run down here and kill that base. Meanwhile, the Ultralists are going to try and support these Broodlords and engage the Stalkers in the front, and the Broodlords doing quite a bit of damage here. But so are the Colossi, just melting away all the Broodlings and the Ultralists. Psystorms trying to go down on these Broodlords, but I don't think they were really hitting there, as the Psystorms do need to be down more in this position, actually underneath the Broodlords to do damage. And so TQ, nicely done right there. He split the Zerglings to take out the high yield expansion and use the Ultralisk and Broodlords to defend there, even though he did lose his high yield expansion. Is he going to be pressing the issue right now, as even Shield's level 2 coming out? So 29 kills, 31 kills on this Colossus. I sort of 40 kills there, 42. As I bet a bunch of those probably were Broodlings, actually. So Broodlings do distort. There's actually 3 Phoenix are on the field. What is he doing right now? Flipaments has 3 Phoenix. He's going to try and use those to kill these Broodlords, but there's so many Corruptors to escort them for TQ that those Phoenix really are going to be useless, as one round of shots from the Corruptors will kill a Phoenix. And Flipaments in a lot of trouble. He's got a lot of minerals, but he's hurting for gas. He needs to do something. He needs to pump out, like, he can't really do anything against these Broodlords. He needs more Stalkers, and he needs to be blinking under them to kill them instead of trying to blink away from these Broodlings. He needs to blink under and kill these Broodlords are really the difference right now in this game, as Flipaments can't, he has nothing to deal with the Broodlords or the Broodlings. The Colossi are forced to run away, as he's actually got a couple of nice storms down on the Broodlords, but all it is doing is softening them up. He's not able to kill any. He needs some Blink Stalkers, some Voids, or something to deal with this. Actually, Voids wouldn't do much, as TQ has a nice ball of Corruptors, and the Colossi are all going to go down, and looks like that is going to be it. So a pretty incredible game, back and forth right there. There was times during this game where I thought that Flipaments had it in the bag, and there were times where I thought tQorGETSLAMT had it in the bag, and both opponents were able to come back and stay alive somehow, back and forth. A really, really exciting game. So this game was sent to me by tQorGETSLAMT, and I know it's taken me a while to get to it, man, and you did send me quite a few games, but thanks for sending me this game, especially because it was a blast to cast, and thank you everyone for watching this game. Really fun back and forth game. So stay tuned. This is Irie StarCraft, and peace out.